Mexico weather.
Over southeast New Mexico, the temperature readings in the lower 90s in Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, 92 degrees, Hobbs and Lovington in the upper 80s along the 285 corridor. A 20% chance for thunderstorms on this Monday, but by tomorrow, on Tuesday, temperatures really pop up. 97 degrees in Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, 98 degrees, Hobbs and Lovington in the lower 90s. For W105 FM, I'm meteorologist Ron Roberts.
Your country plays on W105.
Be in the Breakfast Club powered by Carlsbad Chevrolet. Online at carlsbadchevrolet.com. Text line at 877-396-W105. Brought to you by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer. Online at amigo-machinery.com. Question of the day brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply, your Napa dealer. And YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook video feed brought to you by Desert Sand Water Well. Online at desertsandsnm.com.
Good morning. Welcome back.
Hey, how would you like some breakfast? Would you like some breakfast?
What would you like for breakfast?
I could go for a cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger?
I don't want a cheeseburger. It's too early for a cheeseburger. Too early for a cheeseburger? Look, cheeseburger.
Today is National Cheeseburger Day.
What do you have? Cheeseburger.
Yeah, for breakfast.
Cheeseburger.
Got it.
Happy National Cheeseburger Day.
It's showtime.
And good morning to you. What a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Tommy in the studio.
Morning.
I see him there looking like the homeless guy. What's up?
I am not. Look at me, Russ.
He's clean shaven. He's ready.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Mr.
Sorry.
Whatever.
I apologize for the homeless comment, but not apologize for the homeless comment. So thought I'd throw that out there. I am operating without internet this morning, not internet, without a printer this morning, so I'm reading off the screen, so bear with me. It's not like back where I can order off Amazon, it's there the next day. So I'm evidently humidity got to my printer, and all the toner without air condition just became one sticky mess. I think that's what happened. So hopefully I get it fixed shortly, but all is good. Great news coming out of Santa Fe.
Yeah.
We'll get to that story coming up, and the Republicans talk up and talk a great game. We'll talk about that coming up this morning. Keep you updated with everything going on as we continue to work and find out what the heck is happening this morning. And I'm starting out cards. I did one thing. I forgot all my sponsor cards. So I'm doing it on the fly, but Tom will get it done. I promise. Not a problem. What did you do this weekend, Tom?
I just chilled at the house. Didn't do nothing.
It's awesome. That's awesome.
How
Chilling is good.
How was the flight
I got
back?
home and slept for a little while and woke up at 2 a.m. at midnight to watch football, and all is good in the neighborhood. So Tom, Colorado just barely catches the win.
But
barely.
Good teams know how to win.
Good teams know how to win. Good teams know how to show up. Good teams are good teams, right, Tom?
Yeah. Colorado's going to win the national championship. I said that when he got the job.
I think he's several years away.
No.
From
He's got the team to win it.
He doesn't have the team to win it. Sorry to break it to you. Does not have the team to win it.
And I want to inform you, B, that the Pac-10 is the number one conference.
You are a bandwagon jumper like no other bandwagon. A Buffalo fan since September of 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, a bandwagoner fan.
Which is me. This month, Tom.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm a big-time fan of the Buffs since September of 2023. Big-time fan. Have been a big fan. Not all my life, but just a big fan since September of 2023.
Well, expect for the Cowboy love to be coming because...
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's going to jump back on that bandwagon. He's going to send it sailing.
They're 2-0.
2-0, and you're about to jump back on the damn wagon and send them across the. It's not going to be good, Tom. You know it. I know it. You know it. We all know it is not going to be good.
Right.
All right, we got a lot of things to get to this morning. Check of the weather this morning being brought to you by our buddies at Camp Tall Pines, camptallpines.com for more information. Follow them on Facebook. Go up there and check them out. Camp of the Tall Pines, beautiful Mayhill, New Mexico. Got a large gathering coming up, church gathering, family reunion. They can accommodate that. They can also accommodate just you and the family going up there. They have lots of things to do, fishing ponds, stocked, and, of course, 18-hole disc golf course, high ropes, low ropes, mountain biking, and just chilling in the mountains is an awesome place to be. 575-687-4101. Let Scott and Jamie show you around, or go to camptallpines.com. High temperature today, 89. Sunny skies, isolated showers coming up this afternoon. Other than that, isolated showers tonight, 10% chance, 66 for the overnight low, 93 and sunny tomorrow, and I'm seeing nothing but sun in the forecast. So we needed the rain. We got a little rain, and we appreciate the rain, but the sun is back, and this week we're going to be mostly in the 90s. Check out the weather this morning, being brought to you by our buddies at Janko Janitorial, specializing in anything janitorial. If you need them to go and clean your office, that's not a problem. They also can take care of the oil field locations. They can do window cleaning, floor waxing, floor stripping. They can deliver you all the supplies that you'll ever need. Find them on the web at jankojanitorial.com, or call our friend Amber at 575-703-1869. Mention Be in the Breakfast Club. Hey, I heard about you on Be in the Breakfast Club. Maybe the office is being cleaned, but it's not being cleaned up to your expectations. Talk to Amber today. They do an awesome job. 575-703-1869. Hit them up today. Tom A. in charge of the text. Our number 877-396-W105. Before we get to the rest of the show, two things that I need to talk about this morning. We are not the station that called anybody a bunch of beaners. Let me just throw that out there. I understand the Dexter Eunice ball game. Some Dexter people are upset because maybe the announcers for another station mentioned the word beans and rice, which I don't find offensive because I grew up in Louisiana where we ate beans and rice 4 days a week. You know why? Because it was cheap.
I was raised by my mom who lived in East Texas, and guess what we had growing up?
So
beans and rice.
Yeah, calling somebody that they eat beans and rice, to me, is not offensive. But it was the other guys that said it, not us. Just thought so. I mean, if I was gonna,
we're so popular, we get blamed for everybody else's mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna get to it, they called a bunch of people beaners.
Oh my God!
Well, they didn't, but I mean, if I was telling the story,
basically that's what this person was alluding to. But that's not. I don't think. But even if the announcer had said, "Look at them boys. They've been feeding them some beans and rice. They're, the good, big, strapping boys," is all I would have taken that as. I wouldn't have taken it anything to do with race. Just like Russ said off the air, the Nebraska corn-fed boys or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And when it comes to the Dust, what's the guy's name, Tom? The Colorado player. Is it Dustin Hunter?
Yes.
Hunter's its last name. Anyway, that hit against him.
Oh, my.
Was it brutal? Yes, it was. Does it fall into the rules of the game? Exactly. You have people like LeBron James calling it targeting. By the way, targeting is about the head, leading with the head.
Right.
Sorry, LeBron. Yeah, it was not targeting. He should not have been ejected from the game, which he wasn't. And the call on the field was correct. 15-yard penalty, move on. Sorry the kid's hurt. He's a great athlete. And so Colorado barely beats Colorado State.
And they needed him in that game.
It's football.
Yes, you're right.
It's a full contact sport.
It is an aggressive, violent sport. And you know what? Back in the day when you played safety, your job was intimidation. Somebody come across the middle or come on your side, you were supposed to whack a mole. And that's exactly what this kid did. I'm sure we'll get people that say it was intentional. Of course it was intentional. It's football. It's football. By the way, speaking of football, congratulations going out to the Artesia Bulldogs. And I'm mentioning them in particular because they go and play the number one team in 6A football and beat them.
That's right.
Meaning that they are the number one team in the state at this point.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And guess who they play Friday night?
Who?
Lovington Wildcats travel over there. Now, the significance here is that both these programs together have 50 football state championships.
And by the way, you can hear the sports report.
Right. Coming up tomorrow morning. So, yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning, I'll be doing that sports report. You can check it out right here on W105, baby. That's where you can go.
I'm just curious. Did you do a little different slant for each one because you do Lovington and you do Artesia?
No, I have to be straight on those two. When they play each other? Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's when you're talking to that league's coach.
No, I don't put any bulletin material on either report. Now, if they're playing somebody else, yeah, like someone, up north or something, yeah. Or homers.
Like Simpson?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just double checking. All right, we got to get to the tweet of the day this morning. Tweet of the day being brought to you by Hobbs Airfield Speedway. I was just checking to see if we got any races this weekend. As far as I know, no races this weekend. Jamal will send us the information. If you need more information, follow them on Facebook, TikTok, and you can follow them on Instagram. Make sure and find out what's going on at the Hobbs Airfield Speedway. Jamal and the guys they raced this past weekend, it was pretty awesome. I had no idea what it meant. Environmental equality. Are we putting two hot button issues together for the liberals? That's what it sounds like to me. So Kamala Harris was at a predominantly black university. I think it was North Carolina A&M or one of those schools. And she was asked a question about environmental racism.
What?
Environmental racism.
Here we go.
I didn't even know that it existed. Here's the question. Here's the answer.
For you is, what measures do you support to combat environmental racism and its impact on vulnerable populations?
Yeah.
Well,
there's so much there. I mean, we talked about it in terms of equity and inclusion and diversity, right? We need to, first of all, agree and acknowledge that there are systems that have been long in place that need to be reformed. So, for example, our criminal justice system.
And by the way, as a prosecutor, you use that same damn system like no other. Just saying. Nobody else used it like you did. So enjoy it if, Kamala Harris. You're killing me. You are killing me. By the way, her approval rating is less than Joe Biden's, if you can believe that. Not good. By the way, over the weekend, Joe Biden talking about you Hispanic folks and black folks. Talking about, you uneducated son of a guns. Here's what he had to say. I was like, and then I slowed it down to make sure I got it right. Here we go.
We not only recovered all the jobs we lost during the pandemic, we've added millions more. We've seen record lows in unemployment, particularly, and I've focused on this my whole career, particularly for African Americans and Hispanic workers and veterans. The workers without high school diplomas.
Oh.
African Americans and Hispanic workers and veterans.
Yeah.
Workers without high school diplomas.
Yeah, I slowed it down to make sure what you, so if you're a veteran and you are without, are a Hispanic person or a black person, you probably, don't have a high school diploma.
So apparently only white people can graduate high school?
Well, yes, that's what he said. Basically, that's what he said. And by the way, this is not the first time he's made those racist comments. But he talked about that Bidenomics is working for the working people. I'm going to be honest. I haven't talked to many people that thinks that it's actually working for the working people.
We've climbed out of our great economic crisis. It's beginning to work for working people.
I just don't know if it's working for the working people. But thank you, Joe. Chiropractors Founder Day. I forgot to do this. First Love Day. International Equal Pay Day. International Read an E-Book Day. So if you're reading it off your computer, is it really reading? I mean, y'all said internet, the audio books wasn't reading. Cheeseburger Day, AIDS and HIV and Aging Awareness Day. National Respect Day, Bamboo Day, World Water Monitoring Day, all going on today. Former President Donald Trump said he likes the concept of a female running mate and said that interview yesterday. So unlike Biden, who selected a female, Trump said he is going to pick the best person. By the way, I would love Lauren Boebert. Oh, my goodness. Yes. I think by now you know the way up. No, I would rather Kristi Noem than Boebert. But Boebert says she's truly sorry for causing a disturbance at that Denver theater last week, and they escorted her out. She was singing along to the song, Let Her Be. What is the matter with you people? All right, things that happened on this date in history on the way this morning. More local leaders calling out a special session. Before I get to that story, though, I got to get to that story. By the way, making national news for the second weekend in a row. New Mexico is making news for the wrong reason. New Mexico governor narrows the scope for her sweeping gun order after the Biden-appointed judge rules it unconstitutional. Mm-hmm. So the governor of New Mexico on Friday revised that public health order to ban individuals from carrying guns across Albuquerque and surrounding Bernalillo. Wasn't that the order to begin with? What part of it did she change?
See, Crawfish, I think she included not to be carried on public parks, I believe, where children.
Oh, well, you can control state parks.
Yeah.
It's about the only thing you can control. And I'm going to play it. Steve Pierce had a statement that actually carried all this home. I'm going to get to that coming up in a second. But Albuquerque city councilors are calling for a special session to maybe look at gun violence in the state. Now, look, this state has been extremely violent for a long, long time. It really has. Look per capita, the death rates, the violent crimes. New Mexico, especially Albuquerque, has been out of control for a long, long time. But it's good to see Republicans and Democrats coming together. Another baby found at Covenant Hospital in Hobbs. Tom, what do you know about this story?
Nothing yet, B.
16-year-old juvenile. Thank you.
Oh, you're talking about the one last week.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 16-year-old juvenile, accompanied by her mother, was being treated at the hospital. Hospital staff discovered the deceased baby in the restroom area of the juvenile hospital room. The baby was sent to the Albuquerque for the autopsy from the, of course, Office of Medical Investigator. Ongoing investigation. That's all we know at this point. Sad story that we've got another baby found. And it's just super
We don't
sad.
know much at this point. We don't know if the baby was stillborn. But what we do know is that the hospital was not notified that the girl was pregnant or gave birth. The only thing they got that was notification was finding the baby in the trash.
Wow. The whole thing is just terrible that if you have a baby, you don't throw it in the trash. You contact somebody and say, this is the problem. I was given birth and the baby died. Pretty sad. Looking at how many times this has happened in New Mexico this year and last year, it's very, very sad.
You know, the sadder part of it is that the mother was with her. when she gave
Well,
birth.
did the mother know that? I mean, if the mother didn't know and she went in the bathroom and gave birth, well, I really can't throw shade on the mother. Now, if she knew what was going on, that's totally different.
Well, and especially if she knew that the girl had given birth and then they took off together.
Right. Yeah, that would be a bigger problem. All right, 877-396-W105. Constitution Day was actually yesterday. What part of the Constitution do you like? Tom, what part of the Constitution do you like?
I believe I like 1 and 2.
First Amendment?
And the Second Amendment.
And the Second Amendment? You like both of them?
Yep. It's
Are
cornerstone.
they really cool?
It's cornerstone of our country, man.
So you like both?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which one do you like?
Man, that freedom, I think it begins with freedom of speech, but that would be tough. That would be tough for one. That would be really, really tough for me.
Without two, you can't have one.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think you're correct about that. And Steve Pierce touched on that at the press conference that was going on Saturday. And I will get to that coming up in just a second. Price of oil this morning being brought to you by our buddies at Spinnaker All Fuel Cementing Solutions. Get in touch with them today. Spinnaker, by the way, has filled every position that they had. Every one of the positions that they had, they have filled, Tom. And all their offices. Of course, they have offices in New Mexico. Also, they have offices in Oklahoma and Texas. Looking for a great job. They're not hiring right now, but you might want to get them the resume. Text 63566 today. Make sure a comment line would be all fuel to 63566, or go to greatoilfieldjobs.com. Equal opportunity, drug-free employer. Price of oil this morning being brought to you by Spinnaker All Fuel Cementers.
West Texas Intermediate, $91.27 this morning, $94.45 for Brent crude, and the price of natural gas, $2.64.
All right, we still have Thought for the Day coming up this morning. Also, we've got Taking Out the Trash. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Mike and Matt, Iron River Inspection, and Eunice. Get in touch with them today, ironriverinspection.com. Find out more information. They do facility inspections, pipeline inspections, safety training, and they're one of the top-notch companies when it comes to anything to do with consulting. Iron River Inspection, they've got a team of over 300 years of experience. And Mike and Matt, second-generation pipeliners themselves. Find them today at ironriverinspection.com. Chicago Mayor considering creating a city-owned grocery store after Walmart and Whole Foods and other grocery stores are pulling out of Chicago. Now, why would they be pulling out? Any idea why they would be pulling out, Tom?
Crime.
So Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, who is a socialist himself, announced last week that his administration is exploring a city-owned grocery store, which means promoting equity and access to food. Where could this go wrong? The government running a grocery store. Name one thing the government has run and they've done an awesome job at. Just name one. Give me one, Tom. Highway Department. What about the VA?
Oh, God. Awful.
So, yeah, it looks like they are planning to do that, but, not working good. UAW, that, of course, is the union.
Yeah.
And my story just disappeared. Anyway, they're asking probably for too much, and it's not working out for them. So UAW rejects the offer that was handed down. This is not good for Joe Biden. 600 employees were laid off because of that strike. Not good at all for the for the Biden administration. All right, 877-396-W105. Thought for the day coming up. Tom in the text. Then we'll get right into the Republicans respond to the judge overturning most of the governor's executive order.
All right, B, we've got a traffic alert this morning. 62 and 180. I just texted our source to see how bad that wreck. That's wreck on 62 180. Buddy chimes in this morning on that. And Tom, you were against Coach Prime. I was not. I've always supported Deion Sanders and the Buffaloes.
You have never supported. When's the last time you supported the Buffaloes?
Like when Deion was named the coach.
Oh, okay, so that's the first time when Deion was named the coach. So don't say that you're a Buffalo supporter. You're a Deion Sanders supporter.
Yes.
And that's okay to be a Deion Sanders supporter.
Well, they go hand in hand. And Tom says...
No. They do not go hand in hand because what's going to happen, Deion's going to get a better job and leave this job.
Ain't that the whole idea, though, B? He said in his press conference.
So he is going to get he's going to get a better job and leave him. And will you be a Buffalo supporter then?
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah. I love the silence. I love the silence.
Hey, by the way, Tom,
no, you're a Deion Sanders supporter. There's a big difference, Tom.
Go Buffaloes. Tom, you're an idiot, says the texter.
Go Coach Prime is what you really want to say, right?
Right. Tom, you're an idiot, says the texter. I bet you would, whatever, that you want, Colorado doesn't, I bet you whatever that you want, that Colorado doesn't finish in the top 10 at the end of the season. They will win maybe 2-3 games the rest of the year. I'm not hating on them, says the texter. Just how
they've got a tough upcoming schedule.
Well, they do have Oregon coming up this Saturday.
Oregon.
What's the start of the Pac-10 schedule? Which, by the way, is the toughest conference in the country.
Yeah, they've won so many national championships in the last couple years. I mean, it's amazing how many they have won.
Well, they've got 18.
Didn't you live in Idaho, Tommy?
I did.
Then why do you call it Oregon?
That's the way they do it over there.
That is not.
It dang sure is.
Look, I have several friends that are from Bend, Oregon, and they don't call it Oregon.
How do they pronounce it then?
Oregon?
No.
There you go.
That's not the way you do it.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right. Texter says about the amendments, the 13th Amendment has to be in my top 3, the first, second, and then also the 13th. This other texter, Germ, says, how about amendments 1, 2, 4, and 5 are the best amendments, says the texter.
All right, it looks like armed protesters near Biden's home raised concern. Secret Service yesterday followed but took no action after an armed man showed up to protest Joe Biden near the president's home in Wilmington, Delaware. Though it raised concerns, he did not break the law since Delaware has an open carry law. So him carrying a gun, it's just not enough. He posed no threat, even though he doesn't like the government, the president. It's okay not to like him. United Auto Workers, here's a story. Sean Fain, the president, yesterday said the union rejected a 21% wage increase, maintaining they want a 40% wage increase. 40%. We saw what UPS got. They got a huge raise. Would you consider a 25% or 21% raise a high raise? I know I would.
Very, very high.
I mean, who gives those type of raises? Tom, you ever got a 21% raise?
No.
Well, have you ever gotten a raise?
Yes.
Thank you for all that effort that you put through. All the hours in the building. You show up.
I do.
You show up. Thank you.
And take up space in the bunker.
Yes. I would not put air conditioning in the bunker. That's
nice.
Just me, Will. So I wouldn't not. Thought for the day this morning being brought to you by Wakefield Oil, 35 years serving Southeast New Mexico. Dependable, Boom or bust, they are there for you, delivering oil and gas products and the patch. Need oil and gas products? Go to wakefieldOil.com for more information. Diesel, unleaded, interstate batteries, whatever it is you need. Thought for the day being in memory of Mr. Wendell Wakefield. Thought for the day, learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. Let that one sink in for just a second. Donald Trump leads the polls. 6-point lead over Joe Biden. Yeah, you heard me right. Joe Biden failing miserably. The Democrats will make a change, and it will be before the end of the month. I think they have to make a change by the end of the month. They do not make a change. I mean, Joe Biden is the candidate that they're going with.
Mm-hmm.
His polling numbers are terrible. But CBS News poll has Biden losing by 6 points head-to-head against Donald Trump. Not good for Joe Biden. And Kevin McCarthy says Trump will be the candidate for the GOP and kind of takes a shot at Ron DeSantis. Here we go again. Why you got to bash fellow Republicans? Says DeSantis not at all at the same level as Donald Trump. You know what's amazing is that these same Republicans hated Donald Trump when he was elected in 2016. They couldn't stand him, Tom. They could not stand him. They would not work with him. Now they love him. Well, I guess better late than never. It's okay. And 7 California school districts have made it a policy that you will have to notify parents when a child changes his name, anything to do with gender affirming care, anything to do, child changes name or whatever, you will have to notify the parents. It is what it is. 636. Let's get to the New Mexicans and what they had to say, the Republican Party of New Mexico, the GOP. We'll get to that next. Tom in the text.
Hey, Papa Top's tuning in. Hey, Tom, 62180 goes from La Mesa, Texas to El Paso. Try to be a more exact idiot. Look, you idiot. I called, I texted our guy. I'm waiting on him to get more details. Obviously, you weren't listening. And I got a 17% raise this year. I almost passed out and am beyond thankful for the amazing company that I work for. Those union folks, says the text, are just out of their mind. And did they extradite El Chapo's son back to the USA? One of the texters is asking.
I think the wife got out. I don't know anything about El Chapo's son. I know they're thugs just like the daddy.
Right.
That apple did not fall from the tree very far.
And B, we have another report of another accident. Coulter reports this morning there's a wreck on Delaware Basin close to 128. I will make that phone call to my source and get you more information on that. Being brought to you by
Luke Ragsdale, RagsdaleLawFirm.com.
And
I saw a video.
Go ahead.
What's that?
No, you saw a video?
I saw a video over the weekend about the Vietnamese that are coming into this country on the southern border. It's a guy that I follow, and I can't, his name slips right now. But the Vietnamese that are coming into this country through the southern border. So we got Panamanians, the jails are being released to El Salvadorans, the jails are being, everybody. And then we got the Vietnamese that are flocking over here. We have people from every country in the world. And you know why? Weakness.
Well, from at least where the prisons are concerned, at least we're getting the best those countries have to offer.
Oh yeah, I mean we're getting the most hardened prisoners that we've ever seen.
The good quality folks, the good hard workers.
Good, very quality folks. Tom, these are the people that are just looking for a better life, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they're just looking for a better life.
They're just looking for a better life. Just looking for some new victims to victimize here in America.
Like the guy from Brazil that came over here, he was fleeing, murdering somebody in Brazil, and then came over here and killed his girlfriend. Just looking for a better life. That's all he wants. National Singles Week. Tom, how does it feel to be single?
Going on 9 years. Can you believe it?
9 years after coming off a marriage that lasted 92 days.
Yes. quality time with her.
Didn't take her long to figure that out.
God bless her soul.
She was like, I'm more manly than you, Tomas.
You know, she asked me, says, what I thought of you, right? I said, well.
Of me?
Yeah, I was. She's been my friend for years. And I don't like Kevin.
That's fine. Don't like me. I don't care. You can go back to Waka.
Well, I think
I don't care. You can go back and live on dirt floors as much as I care.
Yeah, but
God bless you.
That's what she thought of me. So.
Tom.
What?
I really don't care. I really don't.
Well, you were my best man at the wedding, for God's sakes.
I mean, the way she laid out your clothes in the morning,
she did.
She would dress you like a little kid going to kindergarten.
Tom, him being best man doesn't have anything to do with her.
They don't?
No, it has everything to do with you, dork.
Oh. I was best man at his wedding.
Yeah. Not like
nothing to
she
do with his
chose
wife.
me. So, not like she chose me to be your best man. National media rumor has Disney getting ready to sell ABC in a deal including FX and National Geographic. And Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Jackman have separated 27 years together.
So.
Can you, 27 in Hollywood?
Mm-hmm.
That is a long, long time.
Cheaper to keep her, buddy. You just ask Kevin Costner.
Yeah. His didn't last 27, though.
Right.
I think it's 12. New study claims that vegan cats are more healthier, Tom.
Aww.
So, quit feeding, every time you say you brought them a burrito or whatever, just stick to the veggies. They'll be better off. All right, New Mexicans. Jay Block. We'll get to that cut coming up next. Our number 877-396-W105.
I just got to ask.
Tom in the text. What's that?
What cat eats vegetables? And if they do, I want to meet them because that's kind of like, now I know there are cats that like water and that's weird, but most cats don't like to get wet. And most cats eat meat. So just saying.
Vegan cats. Better
mine.
off. Yeah. Yeah. Much better. Morning show this morning being brought to you by North Star Laundry. One-stop shop for all your laundry needs. Stop by and see them in Carlsbad, RN Loving. Wash, dry, and fold your clothes. They can dry clean your clothes. They can starch you up, keep you looking good. If you want to wash, dry, and fold your own clothes, well, they have coin-operated machines open 7 days a week. You can find them in Carlsbad at 609 West Lee, 604 West Church Street, and in Loving at 406 West Cedar. Find them today. North Star Laundry. They would love to do business with you. Jay Block talked about the governor's overreach. Talked about there was a big rally going on in Albuquerque, men with guns, and then the Republicans had their press conference. Here's Jay Block talking about the governor after the overturn.
The beauty of this is not about Republicans or Democrats or independents. Even the highest law enforcement official in New Mexico, the Attorney General, has said he will not defend her. And I want to thank Attorney General Torres, DA Bregman, who came out against her. Also, Sheriff Allen here in Bernalillo County, who did multiple state reps and senators are coming out against the governor. Democrats, by the way. That is us coming together as Constitution-loving Americans, unlike this governor, which is why I support the articles of impeachment against the governor.
And Steve Pierce, of course, the chairman of the Republican Party, came out and talked about the governor. Here's the first take from Steve Pierce at the rally.
Say the governor, she could not have done what she did without two signatures. The Secretary of Health was required to sign a signature. Let me tell you a little bit about Patrick Allen's background. He was just until January of this year the Secretary of Health in Oregon. The incoming Democrat governor said she was going to fire him because he didn't provide adequate health services to Oregon. He resigned, and we got him here. Why do we need somebody that was going to get fired in Oregon to come down here and sign executive orders that violate the Constitution? I call on the Secretary of Health to resign or be removed by the legislature. Get him out of here.
So Steve Pearce had some words for the governor yesterday, make that Saturday, and talked about what needs to happen when concerning the governor.
Why should we need an emergency state to protect the Constitution of the United States? I think they just need to whack this thing down and send her packing. That's what I think. She wants to go to D.C., fine. Let's give her a ticket. Other questions?
I think probably the best thing that Steve Pearce had said yesterday was about the Constitution and about our freedoms. On Constitution Day, which is actually yesterday, but we're asking the question, what's your favorite part about the Constitution? Steve Pearce talked about the Constitution and our freedoms.
What's the underlying issue? Like, how do you guys find the middle ground? I know you guys aren't asking for her impeachment, but do you feel like that's the only solution at this point? Because she did say that it's a temporary ban. It's a cooling period.
So if you couldn't hear that, the lady asking a question about the temporary ban, Steve Pearce answering that question.
You do not temporarily stop liberty. Liberty never stops. It's written into the Constitution. She did not have the right to do it at all. So the fact that, oh, well, it's just temporary. I'm sorry, that's a game that's being played because you hear her on her speech saying that she's going to use it to stop poverty. She's going to use it to stop this, stop that. You cannot suspend the Constitution no matter how noble your intent is. And believe me, I do not think her intent is noble. I think her intent is to take rights away from law-abiding citizens, to take their savings accounts away, to redirect it, to take their pensions away. That's where this agenda is going that she mentioned to the...
So Steve Pearce talking about you can't temporarily ban a constitutional right. So I thought the Republicans handled themselves great, and I was surprised Jay Block was the guy that was at the forefront of that. Of course, ran for governor, and is still in politics. What county is that, Tom? That he is
I believe it's Bernalillo County that he lives in.
No, it's not
Rio Rancho. He lives in Rio Rancho.
County.
Yes,
Sandoval County.
But listening to Steve Pearce, where was that fever when he was running for governor?
That what?
That fever. Where was that fever when he was running for governor?
Fervor?
Yeah,
I think the word you're looking for is fervor.
Yeah. I mean, but where was that? I liked it. Where was he? Should have gone after
He
her
was
then.
definitely more fired up, but I think that had a lot to do with the crowd. And it has,
I think it had a lot to do with the crowd. And like we told him last week, or let me rephrase that. Like I told him, you need to jump on this stuff quick.
Right.
You need to be on the radio. You need to be on social media. And
I think your advice, brother.
Well, I don't think he took my advice for anything, Tom, but it's good to see him passionate about it.
Right.
For sure. All right, check of the weather. Let's check the comments on the text line first. 877-396-W105. 10 minutes away from 7.
All right, so Chip tunes in this morning. Good morning, guys. Are y'all taking calls this morning? He's asking.
As far as I know.
Yeah, we are. And then a texter says Tom's ex, was done with him when he wore her panties. Says the text.
Well, that was the first wife.
Look, man, you do stupid things on your honeymoon.
No, you don't. No.
So
you think I'm going to let you walk on that, Tom?
Yeah.
You do stupid things on your honeymoon.
Well, you do. I did get a 3.6 merit raise from my company that I've been with for the past 5 years, says the texter. And another texter says, good morning. Any idea about that wreck on 62-180? Still looking for an answer from our sources. When we get it out there, we'll get it to you. And 3 baby deaths in 2 towns in a couple of years, says this text. is way too much. Why is this an issue in this region, says the texter?
I don't know. I don't get it.
I did.
Tom, do you think your first wife, when you tried on her underwear, actually she called her mom and dad and said, I think I'm married a transvestite?
No, I thought she said this is going to be a very fun marriage.
I think I'm married a transvestite.
You never wore
She
your
went, yuck. That's what she said.
Yeah. She was like, what the hell are you doing? Stretching my Victoria's Secrets.
But anyway,
you pervert.
But this question about the 3 babies in 2 towns. I believe it's way too late. I commented last week, and I went far out when I made that statement that maybe this is a copycat situation where you got girls in trouble. The first one dumped her baby in the dumpster. Fortunately, it lived. The 2 others have done it basically the same way. Went to a hospital and dumped their babies in trash cans there too. So
let me get this right. The first one did not dump the baby in the trash can.
Dumpster. I said dumpster. The second one and the third one did.
Copycat,
I believe.
Copycat.
Don't you think? Yeah. I mean, think about it.
No, I don't think.
No, Papa Top was right. That's an idiot. That's an idiot thing to say.
Yes, 100% correct.
All right, let's wait till the next one comes. I bet you
spot on.
That it happens the same way. I wear a phone line.
So what they said. Wow, that worked out great for those girls. Let me do that.
I think they had a
let me get
conscience.
pregnant. Let me get busy right now.
Let's go to the phone line. I think they had a guilty conscience. That's why they went to the hospital.
Well, you know what? Anybody throws a baby in the dumpster should have a guilty conscience. You're right about that.
You're on Being the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
What the hell, Tom?
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Tom.
What?
That wreck on Delaware Basin's about a mile north of 128 on Delaware Basin. It's down to 1 lane. They're letting traffic through slowly.
Okay.
There's your traffic update.
128.
Also, I got another question for you.
Bob.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Bob. Yeah.
Hey, how many boxes of stupid did you eat this morning? Because you said some really idiot stuff so far today, and it's barely 7 o'clock.
Obviously, you like it because you're listening to it.
Bob, it's not that he ate them this weekend. I mean, today. It was all weekend long. Now it's got to find its way to eke out of one of his orifices.
Well, just as long as he doesn't get compacted, we'll be all right, I guess, then, huh?
All right, let's check the weather, then we're going to take our break. Our number 877-396-W105. Checking the weather being brought to you by Roadrunner Grill. Find them today in Artesia and the building that's formerly known as the Touchdown Barbecue location. So now you have Roadrunner Grill and Barbecue. Same breakfast that you found at Roadrunner Grill for years. Same lunch. And from time to time, rolling out the seafood buffet. All of that remains the same. Now they've added barbecue. So you get the best of both worlds. Roadrunner Grill and Barbecue. Find them today in Artesia. Call in advance. You want to maybe call in meals for everybody on location or in the office. 575-748-3324. Roadrunner Grill and Barbecue. Check them out today. 89 for the high today. Isolated showers this afternoon and tonight. 66 tonight. 93 tomorrow. It's going to be warm throughout the week. Rest of the week looks like about 95 for about 95 for Wednesday and 96 coming up for Thursday. CDC, new recommendations, things that happen on this date in history. And also we've got taking out trash coming up next. National anthem and the pledge. 6 minutes away from 7 o'clock. Be in the Breakfast Club. KWMW, Maljamar 105.1 FM. News this morning being brought to you by State Representative Randy Pettigrew, District 61. Talk about a guy that was on the forefront of this case against the governor. We need to impeach the governor. The words of Randy Pettigrew. and went to Santa Fe to work with the GOP. And guess what? Have now had many Democrats that are on board maybe to impeach the governor, not the president, but the governor. So Randy Pettigrew fighting for the way you feel and your rights and our way of life in Southeast New Mexico up in Santa Fe. Find out more information. Go to the website, randallpettigrew.com, randallpettigrew.com. Give it away cash. Who won the cash on Friday?
It was Simonia Mitchell. Congratulations to her. Picked up $105 in cash, Pete.
Congratulations. We're going to give you the chance to qualify coming up next. On the way, Lubbock man sentenced to 50 years in jail. New Mexico State Police make a huge fentanyl bust, and security cameras show the suspect in that Clovis Walmart fire. What's the cost of that fire? I'll give you that. It's more than you believe. Yeah, I was like, how much? Wow. We'll get to those stories and more coming up next. Let's qualify people for the cash. We're W105.
We're qualifying people for cash.
I'm trying
to just let them call in right now.
Fire Pants on Fire update.
Basically, oh, come on.
Dobbs Truck and Trailer presents the W105 Cash Blowout.
Call now.
Call 877-396-W105 now. Be one of the first 5 people to call in for your chance to win $105. The W105 Cash Blowout.
I want my money.
I want it now.
Call in now to win.
MTD Radio News, I'm Joe Miller. A federal judge has temporarily blocked Governor Grisham's suspension of gun rights in Albuquerque and Bernalillo County. That action has not stopped people from talking about the governor's policy, though. Luis Sanchez is one of the owners of Caliber's gun stores. Saturday, he said a group of people came out to talk about why the governor's actions seemed questionable. Chairperson of the Libertarian Party of New Mexico, Derek Scott, suggested this was a political stunt. Meanwhile, Grisham believes the cause for action justified due to the uptick in gun violence towards children. People at Saturday's discussion believe there should be more emphasis on punishment against criminals and additional resources for law enforcement. Lee County Sheriff's Office says a woman who was reported to be driving erratically crashed into a curb and was discovered to be drunk and driving with her infant in the back seat. 30-year-old Desiree Ortega of Hobbs, arrested September 5th, charged with abuse of a child. Ortega reported by another motorist after coming close to hitting their car. Hobbs police officers were spotted at the scene and realized the car Ortega was driving belongs to an HPD detective. Officers then requesting assistance from Lee County Sheriff's Office to handle the case. In May of this year, Hobbs installed a Safe Haven baby box at one of their fire stations. Other organizations in the city also trying to offer resources for women and teens. My Power is actually the largest youth development program in Lee County, and they're a teen pregnancy prevention program offering 3 quality programs at no cost to students. According to Danielle Hernandez, interim executive director for My Power, the organization provides resources to help empower teens and prevent teen pregnancy. My Power is in 13 different schools, and they've worked with 11,585 students from 5th to 8th grade. Hernandez says teens have to feel empowered. And that's what's happening. I'm Jim Miller, MTD Radio News.
You know what makes me sick? You know what makes me so mad? I just want to scrape my teeth with the back end of a claw hammer. If your old lady asks you if you want to take her on a cruise, the correct answer is no, followed by hell no. I made the sad mistake of thinking a boat ride would be fun. But first off, it ain't a boat ride. You actually live on the boat. In our case, for a whole week. Well, it would have been a week if I hadn't got helicoptered off and thrown to jail, but I'm getting ahead of myself. After paying $500 apiece for our tickets, the boat set sail. All was fine and dandy for a couple of days, napping on the deck, eating great food, all the beer you could drink. It was like a slice of heaven on earth. And then I realized I could have been napping in my backyard, eating Pearl's great food. For $500, I could afford a whole truckload of long necks. In other words, aside from the fact I could see the ocean, Wasn't much more to do on a cruise ship than I could have done at home. Until I remembered we was on the ocean. And there was fish in the ocean. I also remembered I had packed my best fishing rod. And I had a 90-pound test line. So I'm thinking, I can get it out. I hooked on a chicken wing from the buffet table. I stood at the very back of the boat and let her rip. And you know something? You would think if they didn't want you fishing off the back of a cruise ship, they would tell you that before you hooked a baby dolphin and hauled it up on deck. Wake up, America! You'd also think they wouldn't throw a hissy fit when you took that baby dolphin into the kitchen and asked to borrow a knife so you could gut it. It's not like I asked them to do it. Amaro Pizza America. Pizza.
Attention Permian Basin businesses, your success is our priority. B2B MVD is your trusted partner for fast and friendly MVD service. Need registration renewals, title transfers, license plate replacement, or lost title assistance? Look no further. Need DOT services or account setup? Just call B2B MVD at 575-665-3676 today to experience hassle-free solutions. Remember, that's 575-665-3676. B2B MVD, committed to being your partner for success. Drive your business forward confidently knowing we're here to simplify your MVD experience. Located at the Broadmoor Tower in Hobbs.
Hear ye, hear ye. Step into a world of enchantment and revelry at the 2nd Annual Cavern City Renaissance Festival. Watch history come to life through captivating music and magic. Peruse over 70 artists and vendors. Enjoy bountiful food and drink. And watch knights fight for glory in thrilling armored combat. Gather your party and head down to the Lake Carlsbad Beach Park on September 29th and 30th. Advertisement paid for by the City of Carlsbad Logistics.
There's been talk in the news that it's hard to get credit these days. Not here. Just like always, we're making auto loans. We offer competitive rates and quick service. We make our loan decisions locally, so you don't have to wait for out-of-town approval on your loan. Make this strong move. Get your auto loan from us. Estacado Federal Credit Union, where you are more than a number. You're a member. Federally insured by NCUA.
Wanting an affordable, quiet place to park your RV while you're working in or around Carlsbad? WWRV is 3 RV parks with one goal: to be a quiet place for their working tenants. 162 RV sites with 30 and 50 amp available. All utilities are included in the price, including premier wired internet at each site for your gaming and movie streaming. WWRV is pet friendly and well lit with plenty of street lights. Get pricing and contact info by visiting their website at www.rvx3.com or call 575-988-0392 for WWRV.
They're celebrating Daisy Sace this week at Bob's Way. Fryer leg quarters, 10-pound bag, 59 cents a pound. Quarter loin pork chops, just $1.79 a pound. Choice boneless beef chuck steak or roast, less than $5 a pound. Jalapeno peppers, 88 cents a pound. Get jumbo yellow onions, 2 pounds for just $1. And Hass avocados, 7-count bag for just $1.88. And specials on Borden cheeses, Old El Paso enchilada sauces and shells. And it's tamale time with premium corn husks, Baker's chili pods, and the Baker's chili powders, all on special. There's big savings, 150 grocery specials this week, and celebrating Daisy Sace all week long at Bob's Way, where the service, quality, where they still carry your groceries out, and your grocery dollar goes farther. 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Here is your Liar Liar Pants on Fire update.
Guess what? 500 million people have watched what I've done out of my basement.
Be in the Breakfast Club, powered by Carlsbad Chevrolet, and broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio. Text line at 877-396-W105.
The most annoying man in the history of planet Earth is on the air.
7:05, 5 minutes after 7. We are beyond the Breakfast Club, giving you another opportunity to win cash coming up this morning. So keep listening for your chance to win. According to a brand new study, cheese consumption. Tom, you eat a lot of cheese? I guess that would be
You eat a lot of cheese, don't you?
I do.
I eat a lot of cheese. By the way, cheese consumption might be linked to better cognitive health. That's why they're out buying Biden bunches of cheese today. Yeah, it's cool that the cheese helps your brain, but you know what usually goes with cheese? Some wine. That might not be helping. The wine might not help. Larry Chance, best known for the Earls. Tom, you remember the Earls, right?
At the group?
Yeah, the group, doo-wop group, the Earls.
Yeah.
He passed away. He was 82 years old.
Oh,
and over Labor Day, an Alabama woman looking for picture frames at Goodwill saw a wedding dress that appeared to be her size. So she tried it on, and even though she wasn't engaged, planned to get married one day maybe, she bought it for $25. Now she looked up the dress online, and it is one of these high-dollar fashion dresses, Gala Lave, whatever the hell that is, valued at $6,200. Telling you, thrift storing make you some cash. And Howard Schultz, the former CEO of Starbucks, now retiring from the board. He was with the company 41 years and has brought home a lot of cash. A lot of cash. And that Clovis Walmart fire, estimated damage. What do you think the estimated damage, Tom?
I'm going to shoot for $50 million, B.
$42 million is how much they say.
Wow.
The guy they suspect of setting the fire, Jimmy Gouline, entered the closed Walmart through the rooftop, and you could see him grabbing multiple bottles of propane canisters off the shelves and starting the fire by placing a torch on the open flame and throwing the propane canisters. And that happened about 3:34 a.m. $42 million in damages. What was he mad at?
Right. He wasn't greeted.
I've been serious. I mean, the guy must have had some anger management issues. And a Lubbock man sentenced to 50 years for sexually assaulting 2 children. Lubbock man guilty of sexually assaulting 2 young girls, both under the age of 14. Court records state that 46-year-old Jimmy Purcell sexually abused the 2 girls in the course of 7 years. The older victim told investigators she was getting ready for school one day before her baptism and told her mother about the abuse. By the way, Purcell was arrested for the crime in 2017, and this case finally coming to justice, sentenced to 50 years in prison without the possible of parole. That's the kicker right there. All right, we're going to get to taking out trash, also things that happen on this date in history. CDC coming down with new recommendations, and I got to admit, they kind of sound like the recommendations from the first go-round of COVID. Here's what they had to say about getting the booster, of course, and getting vaxxed.
We would all love to leave COVID-19 behind. The virus is still here and making some people very sick, especially older adults. The new updated COVID-19 vaccine is the most effective way to give your body the ability to keep the COVID virus from causing you harm.
I don't know. That sounds like what they were saying before. You get the vaccine. Well, no, wait. Before they were saying that if you got the vaccine, it would prevent you from getting it. Even Biden said that. So now they're saying it will keep you from getting deathly ill and dying, which in some cases, people that got it still died. So I don't know what when you tell me vaccine, to me, a vaccine is supposed to keep me from getting whatever it is I'm getting. That's the way it's supposed to work. So anybody in the room getting the vaccine because the CDC recommendations. Will, you're going to go ahead and rush out and get it?
No.
Tom, you getting it? They said, no. You said before you were getting it because They told you to get it. So are you going to rush out there and get it now?
Well, the first two, I was being obedient. Okay. I was thinking, okay, I'm going to stay, do this.
So why would you be obedient again?
No. Too much conflict. Not enough information, false information out there.
Now.
And I ain't getting sick because of it.
Well, wait, weren't you vaxxed and then you got the dreaded COVID?
I was, but here's the deal. I also didn't take my flu shot that year.
Tom, I hate to tell you, nowadays the flu is COVID.
Well, 3 years ago when I got it, I didn't know that. And I was out for a week.
We were hoping that you wouldn't come back from it. I'm talking about dying. I'm just talking about come back in the building.
So, and I wore a mask when I come back in.
Oh, thank God you wore that mask. Mm-hmm. That mask works every time, for sure. Thank you, Tom. I haven't had the chance to tell you thank you for wearing a mask. Yeah. By the way, more and more hospitals saying that if you're going to the hospital, you're going to have to wear a mask. Yep. And you know what? I really don't have a problem with that because there are sick people in the hospitals. So I really don't have a problem with that. It's not like going in the store. We know there are sick people at the hospital. You know, of any of this, I have the least amount of problems with that. All right,
the problem I have is, unfortunately, it's been proven time and time again that it doesn't help one way or the other.
It doesn't work. Yeah, you're 100% correct. All right, 877-396-W105. New York politicians gathered yesterday to talk about the issues they're having with illegal immigrants, and it was not too good. AOC, Jerry Nadler, and other got together to talk about the problems at the border and listen to the people. And now they're trying to take Central Park and turn it into a refugee camp. Isn't that a national park? I think it is. So where are we going to move them next? Are we going to put them at the Grand Canyon? Let's put them at the Grand Canyon. Of course, it gets cold there. You might have to build them something more than tents. But not good in New York City yesterday with AOC standing and shaking her head and Jerry Nadler pulling his pants up over his head. You know how he wears those pants all the way up to his all the way up to his chi-chis?
He was like old white Urkel.
Yeah, he was pulling them up further than that to hide himself. Here's more from that.
Immigrants flowing into the city. Watch.
And that we are joining with the city and state.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here with
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and members of our delegation, as well as other members from other states that are here to see for themselves what the migration dynamic is in our.
So we're here to see the migration dynamics for ourselves. Thank you so much, you idiot. You know, it's good when Democrats get a dose of their own damn medicine. So awesome. Great. Thank you guys so much. They're none too happy. The people in New York are not happy about this.
Well, did you hear Massachusetts called for the National Guard to help because of the migrant crisis? Yep. Massachusetts, which was one of the states that was Massachusetts, yeah, that great border state, Massachusetts, that was one of the first to be a sanctuary state and have sanctuary cities.
Thank you. Yeah. They once they get a taste, they don't like
That's
it.
That's right.
They don't like it.
It's fine for Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and, well, of course, California. They welcome them in. They're not even stopping them there. And New Mexico, too. But, you know, of course, you know, these other cities, they're like, wait a minute, we're not on the border. We shouldn't have to deal with this.
Yep. Kind of crazy.
It's that damn Governor Abbott and Ron DeSantis' fault.
Yeah, well, I mean, you said you were a sanctuary city. That tells me that you're wide open and you want more. So we just gave them to you. That's awesome. Awesome. Check of the weather today being brought to you by our buddies at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. They are homegrown and proud of it. They've got all your farm and ranch supplies, Western wear, and more. Purina, certified Purina dealer for all your animals. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply. Find them 1105 East 2nd in Roswell, also online at roswelllivestock.com. Check them out in Capitan at the Lincoln County Mercantile. 89 for the high today, 10% chance of showers this afternoon and tonight. Most of those are isolated showers. 66 tonight and 93 coming up mañana. Still to come, national anthem and the pledge on the way. Also, we're going to take out trash, things that happened on this date in history. Looks like a New Mexico man facing some drug charges. I think we'll take him out to the trash. We'll do that in a second. Tom in the text.
All right, John from Eunice this morning. Good morning, guys. Looks like we made another great deal in a prisoner swap where the U.S. takes it in the rear again. Another Obama-type deal where we release prisoners for prisoners that we want, only they get billions of dollars on top of that, says John from Eunice this morning.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bad deal. I think it's a bad deal whenever you let terrorists go. It wasn't actually our money, so it's not like we're taking it out of the taxpayers. It was money we confiscated from them to begin with. So not that makes anything better.
No. Should have been our money.
Yeah. I mean, when we take money from drug dealers, you know what we do? We confiscate it. It's in our bank. Yeah. So they can justify it by saying, well, it wasn't our money to begin with.
And John continues.
You know what we ought to do with that money? It ought to go to our fallen military, their families.
Amen to that. Hey, John goes on to say, goes on to say, guys, how many of you believe that the U.S. government actually gives a rat's rear about saving older people's lives? I mean, this is still about profits for those backing the pharmaceutical industry. You know what? Quit making vaccines for a man-made created virus, and why don't you work on curing cancer, says John this morning.
Cancer would be awesome. I mean, we still have no solution to dementia either.
Mm-mm.
And Tom, isn't that a bigger issue with you?
Don't curse me like that.
How did I curse you? I just asked a question.
Don't give me my dementia, man. But, you know, every once in a while, we're all kind of foggy up there. So it happens. We get older.
Some people a little bit more than others.
And Texas goes on to say, this text says, they didn't get billions. That went into the politicians' pockets.
Yeah, well, I'm not doubting that. Every time I hear we're giving money to Ukraine, I'm going, oh, there you go. Biden gets a raise.
Mm-hmm. One more.
Awesome.
One more text. B. Nadler, he is the Penguin in Batman, says Jethro.
Yeah, well, in this video, looks like he was pulling him up all the way over his shoulders.
Awesome.
Remember when he pooped himself on national TV? Yeah. I mean, when Biden pooped in front of the Pope, at least, yes, he had a pooping Pope moment. But at least when he did it, America didn't see him. You know, they turned off the cameras at that point. All right, here's the truth about Bidenomics. I knew somebody would eventually do it. Fox Business came out with the information. They looked at Bidenomics versus the Trump boom. And what they looked at is the first 30 months in office. Biden created 2.1 million jobs. Trump, 4.9 million jobs. Biden, first 30 months in office, he created 204,000 manufacturing jobs. Trump, 454,000 jobs. And the 30-year mortgage rate now versus January of 2021, Biden, 7.51%, and Trump, 2.65%. By the way, these stats coming from the Bureau of Labor Stats, new job excluded jobs versus loss to COVID. Fannie Mac came out with those numbers. And so those numbers are coming from the federal government. they just don't sound the same as when Biden tells the story. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Biden's lying. That's why. I mean, he might not even know he's lying, but that's why. He's lying about it. It's not truthful. Sad but true. All right, taking out trash. Let's get to taking out trash this morning. Being brought to you by Trash Eaters, trash-eaters.com, 575-390-4549. Find them online at trash-eaters.com. They can take care of your trash, residential trash. They can pick it up. Give them a call, 575-390-4549. Reminding you to give to the Lovington Animal Shelter. They're sick and volunteers and need monetary donations. Call them directly, 575-552-3669. New Mexico man now facing federal drug charges as he was stopped for speeding by New Mexico State Police. Michael Diego Gustavo Sina, traveling eastbound on I-40 near the Route 66 casino, was stopped. According to the criminal complaint by New Mexico New Mexico State Police, they smelled marijuana coming from the car. That's when they decided that they were going to see if they could do a inspection of the car. By the way, Sina had a passenger, Dolores Sina, and told officers she'd been on vacation in Phoenix for the last 2 weeks. Smell of marijuana conflicted with stories from the two, and they searched the Subaru Legacy that Sina was driving. Search revealed 2 Glock pistols and a clear extended magazine from the trunk. So not only that, they had the extension on the magazines. Officer also found a red duffel bag with plastic bags inside that they believe were fentanyl.
Wow. And
over 5,000. They found 5,000, then they tallied it up. Over 160,000 fentanyl pills. These guys are off the streets. And, so they found the fentanyl on the back, and both Michael and Dolores were taken into custody by Homeland Security for processing. Special agent of HHI weighed and tested the pills, and it was found out to be fentanyl. Also, they found heroin and a jar of marijuana in the trunk. But the big thing was 160,000 fentanyl pills and 1 kilogram of heroin. Michael would later tell police they went to Glendale, Arizona to pick up the fentanyl. He also purchased the guns. Sina said the drugs were going to be distributed to people in Santa Fe, and he was being paid $20,000 to transport the fentanyl. I'm taking out trash this morning, being brought to you by Trash Eaters. Just took off 160,000 doses of fentanyl off the street. Great job, State Police. And let me ask this question. Why would somebody be driving a car at a high rate of speed with that much drugs in the car? By the way, congratulations. You're not only part of taking out trash, but you could qualify for the boob of the day also. Kind of crazy. Tom on the text, 877-396-W105.
Well, this texter is saying, haven't had COVID or the flu, never had a COVID vaccine or a flu vaccine. But friends that I know that have gotten the vaccine, they've gotten COVID at least 2 and 3 times, says the texter. Hey, Rocket is tuning in. Nadler hasn't been around since he pooped on stage, says Rocket this morning. And
man, that walk, I mean, I'm going to be honest. Anybody that's ever pooped themselves, you know exactly the walk I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's called the poop shuffle. It's close to the icky shuffle from back in the day, but the poop shuffle.
It is pretty icky, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Texter says Tom doesn't remember if he has an issue with dementia. I don't think so.
Well, it might change later, but yeah, he didn't have an issue.
And John from Eunice is tuning in again. Well, isn't it a good use of state police time instead of looking for law-abiding Americans carrying firearms legally? John is.
By the way, did they arrest anybody or take anybody for having a gun?
Not that I saw, and
yet.
I did see one open carry citizen approach state police and basically challenge them to do just that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's basically what they were doing. They said, "Are you going to arrest me? Are you going to ticket me? Are you going to?"
Mm-hmm.
And they just gave him a warning.
I wouldn't even taken the warning. I'm not doing anything that's against the law according to the Constitution of New Mexico and Constitution of America.
That's right.
Please ticket me. Please ticket me. I will write my own paycheck. Please ticket me. That's what that guy was doing. Tom, what is the guy, the football brothers, Travis? Is it Kelsey? Is that the way you pronounce their name?
Yep.
Yeah. Supposedly Kelsey and Taylor Swift, dating rumors going on.
And they're true.
Heck? And Tom Brady is dating Bradley Cooper's ex.
Yeah, I saw that. He likes them foreigner women. She's a Russian.
She's a Russian? She's probably not even a Russian. She's probably of from some Slavic country.
Yeah.
And a Florida man arrested allegedly setting his girlfriend's car on fire. His girlfriend is also his cousin. True story. I can't make that up. True story. School board election in Albuquerque is just around the corner. And guess what? The teachers union, the Albuquerque Teachers Federation, the ATF, is already endorsing 3 contenders and telling people to beware of candidates. Yeah, the union is cautious of 2 candidates supported by conservative groups, calling them radical right-wingers. Thank you so much, Teachers Union, for telling people to beware of the conservatives. Yeah. I would tend to be very aware of what you're doing. By the way, get back to teaching the kids. Get back to teaching the kids about reading, writing, and arithmetic. We are at the bottom of the pack. Don't worry about the woke agenda. Don't worry about the Black Lives Matters. Worry about teaching kids what you're supposed to be teaching them. If their parents want to teach them all the other stuff, let them teach. All right, 877-396-W105. Be in the Breakfast Club. Tom's in charge.
All right, so Texter says, congratulations, this is Patrick, by the way, to the Lovington Wildcats on beating Denver City on Friday night. The refs and the timekeeper were against them, but, they still came out victorious. Way to go and be strong, boys. Very good job. Gold Wildcats, they go to Artesia coming up on Friday night. And Buddy says, Tom, did you get any also burritos from Hobbs with that extra protein? He's saying this morning. No. I did go to Artesia, but I went there to swim, which I always do. And
you went to
Artesia to swim?
I mean, I went to Hobbs to swim.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere in southeast New Mexico, I went there.
So
I was there.
Because I was disappointed that I gained 1 pound last week. One.
Let me just put it this way. What else is new?
I'm just saying.
Oh, B, you missed it while you were gone.
What?
Tom said that he got invited to dinner with the girl that he was out of his league. Remember that one?
Oh,
yeah. He said she saw him and she invited him to come sit with her.
Right, at lunch.
And have a meal with her.
Sure.
But she's lost 35 pounds. No
I
more.
hope it was the booty.
The booty's gone, bro. It's flat.
Oh, dude, that's totally disappointing. I mean, she looked awesome.
Well, she still looks
the
awesome.
Booty was.
She didn't have 35 pounds to lose. She was great the way she was.
Man.
But
I think he's mistaken her for someone else. Is what I think.
Yeah, I think he is too.
I didn't recognize her at first. I even said, "Do I know you?" It's just me. Oh, what happened to you?
Yeah, remember you were out of your league. You asked me out. Yeah,
right.
That me.
Anyway, she's we had lunch together.
Still not
if
buying
you're
it.
sitting down at a restaurant,
When where is
and
my
somebody's there?
Where's my paparazzi when I need them?
So, and they're there eating, and you're at a different table. That doesn't count for having lunch together. I'm just here to say.
It was. And you know that would have been
So
posted
you
all
sat at
everywhere.
the same table. Did you sit at the same table?
We did. We had about. I mean, we had.
Okay, I'm gonna send her.
What? We had a what? We had a what? Go ahead and say that again, Tommy. We had a what?
We had salad from the buffet.
No. Say what you said.
What?
We had a buffet together.
We had a buffet together.
Okay, I'm gonna send her a message right now because
Send her
she's friends with me on Facebook.
I couldn't
I'm
find
gonna
her.
ask if
I
she
couldn't
sat
find her
at the
on
table with you.
Yep.
So I'm gonna give you one more time to go ahead and recant that.
She asked. I was sitting by myself. She said, "Hey, Tom." I thought, "Oh, who are you?" I didn't know who she was. And then she said, "Oh
So,
my God,
I'm
what
gonna ask
happened to
the
you?"
question again. This will be the third time. Did you sit at the table together?
Yes. She
You
invited me
did.
over.
Okay, I'm gonna send her a message.
That is an amazing pickup line.
And it don't.
Who are you? That's
I know.
suave and debonair. I'll give you that.
Well, it
Like
could be
Tom
the
was
dementia
there.
kicking in that we talked about earlier.
Okay, like if an attractive woman walks up and asks and talks to him, like that's going to be the first thing out of his mouth is like, "Who are you?"
I've seen him talk to women before, and it's like,
I get the phone numbers, don't I?
What phone number?
Only when you tell him you're going to interview him on the radio.
And then they're hesitant. They're very hesitant. Yep, they are. All right, 877-396-W105. Get to the texts. We got lots of things to get to, Tom.
I saw this one texter says, "Well, who paid for that buffet is the main question," says the texter.
Well, answer the question.
Well, I was going to pay, but she went up there first and paid.
Oh, you're saying she bought you the buffet?
Well, I don't know, but I paid for it.
So, whoa. Did she pay or did you?
I don't know if she paid or not, to tell you the truth.
So you left without paying for the meal, is what you're saying.
No, she paid. She was with somebody else at the table, and she paid for them, I guess.
Was it somebody else, male or female?
Oh, they were a girl. But I went up to pay, and they usually say, "Well, somebody got you," but they didn't.
Usually. Yeah, that's what usually happens. Somebody else paid.
Well, text her already. Tell me what she says.
Well, give me a second. I don't have anything printed off, so I'm struggling to make sure I got content. Not that you would know about having content.
Well, this one text says, we had Tom's brothers referee the Eunice game Friday night, and they were all over 300 pounds and couldn't even run, and they were terrible, says this particular text.
And why are you guys talking about those poor kids at Dexter eating so much beans and rice?
It's the way it is, isn't it? They like to tease the boy. I can understand what they were saying. I can totally understand, but they
I
didn't do it right.
know the guy that does the Eunice games, and I didn't hear it, so I don't know. But that guy is a judge and of pretty high moral character, so I don't think he meant it as a racial. I mean, his whole family.
Well,
he's a white guy, but his whole family is very, 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 very Hispanic.
If he even said it, because just because someone told you they said that, because people hear things that we didn't actually say.
I heard it from multiple people. Multiple people, but somebody was blaming us, saying we're the ones that were doing racial slurs against poor Dexter kids on the radio broadcast. So I had to tell him to go check himself.
Beans and rice is not really a racial slur to me.
No, I mean, man, we'd have white beans and rice. We'd have red beans and rice and sausage. If we could afford the sausage, we'd have black-eyed peas, which aren't beans, but we make them beans because we eat them with rice and gravy. I mean, we were a bean-eating family. Our last name was Bonner, but they called us the farters, too. I mean,
I can only imagine.
Yeah, we ate a lot of beans and rice. Buckle up. Looks like New Mexico, Channel 4, investigating polls show that neck-and-neck race between Yvette Herrell and Gabe Vasquez. This is troubling. This has been a Republican stronghold in southeast New Mexico. Vasquez with a single percentage point lead over Yvette Herrell, 46-45. Now, it is possible that this could be realigned to include more of southeast New Mexico. That's what we're hoping happens with this whole redistricting. And that lawsuit should be coming down, I think.
December.
We'll get a decision pretty quick. They were expecting it before October, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Tom?
Pretty soon. But B, even with that 1% lead, which is basically, dead heat, I mean, what does it say about Vasquez? He's got all those votes over there, and they can't even put him further over Yvette Herrell.
That doesn't... I don't believe that's what it says, Tom.
Well, what
all those votes over where?
Well, where he got the votes from. When they redistricted this
where,
whole thing.
Where would that be? I don't know where you're talking about.
Well, we lost a lot of votes with Yvette. But she's been working hard. I'll give her that. She's been working
I'm not debating that, but you made a comment where he got all those votes from. Where was that?
Well, his part of the territory. And they're not voting for him?
Sometimes I feel like Forrest Gump is my damn sidekick.
Well, where's he from? Where's he from?
I really do.
Where's Vasquez from?
I sometimes I believe that you're Forrest Gump.
You don't know either, do you? Yeah,
you're a bigger, darker Forrest Gump. Sometimes I believe that. All right, train to New Mexico. Get your CDL in 1 week. 96% passing rate in 1 week. These guys know what they're doing. 25 years of training experience, staff development. They'd love to chat with you. Get in touch with them, 575-840-9555. Based in Roswell, mention B in the Breakfast Club. Get 10% off. 96% of the people pass this course and get their CDL license in 1 week of training. How do they do that? Lots of one-on-one training. Lots of time behind the wheel. If you're thinking about starting your career as a commercial driver, get in touch with Train It New Mexico. Mention B in the Breakfast Club. Save $100 on your enrollment. 575-840-9555. Train It New Mexico. Things that happen on this date in history. France formally surrendered Quebec to the British. The year was 1759. Boston Gazette reported the first piano was built in the United States. First song was Chopsticks, 1769. George Washington laid the cornerstone of the U.S. Capitol using a silver trowel to mark the first cornerstone in 1793. New York Times went on sale for the first time in 1851. By the way, the price, 2 cents. 2 cents, and that was their 2 cents. Columbia Broadcast System began broadcasting a collection of 16 radio stations in 1927. And 1975, newspaper heiress Patricia Hearst captured by the FBI in San Francisco. 19 months later, she was since she was kidnapped. Tom, name the group that kidnapped her.
Some type of foreign group.
Was it and I don't remember the name of the group. I know it was a Liberation Army.
Yep.
Something Liberation Army. And then she went to jail and fell in love with a guard at the prison. World Bamboo Day, HIV and AIDS Awareness Day, Cheeseburger Day, Constitutional Day. What's the best part of the Constitution? That is the question of the day. Patrick Swayze. But wait. I got that. Not Patrick Swayze. Scratch that. Arnold's little boy, Patrick Schwarzenegger, is 30 years old.
Wow.
Birthday wish, Jada Pinkett Smith. Get up there and slap somebody. Will, she's 52, still sleeping with other people.
My
Debbie
wife's
Fields.
name out show.
Yeah. Lance Armstrong is 52. Debbie Fields is 67. And Frankie Avalon, having a birthday, he's 83 years old. By the way, National Singles Week happening all this week. Things that happen on this date in history being brought to you by Train New Mexico. National Anthem and the Pledge coming up next.
All right, texter's saying, UNICEF's upset because the good old boy football system finally failed them. No, I talked with the coach on Saturday. They just couldn't execute the way they wanted. And the radio broadcast of the game is a joke. The three calling the game had no clue. Tom, I would probably do 10 times better, says the texter. Well, thank you very much. How about beans and rice and sweet potatoes, B? Says this one texter.
Love me some sweet taters.
And David Ramsey always tells people to eat beans and rice and beans.
I had me some purple sweet taters today.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh watermelon. Shrimp. And some pork belly tonight.
Yeah.
Barbecue pork belly. I'm eating large, Tom.
You are eating and gaining weight. And Tom is lying his butt off again, says this one texter. Another texter says Tom pays all, others they buy. And dang, Tom is the cheap son of a gun. Laugh out loud. B.
I mean, what kind of self-serving son of a gun or self-respecting man would let a woman pay for your bill? And I understand the day and time we live in, but I'm the type of guy that no, let me get your lunch. The words that have never come out of Tom's mouth.
If I understand correctly, I don't know that she paid. He doesn't know who paid. He went up there to pay, and they said, someone else got it.
But, Will, he's sitting at the table with her. That's the way the lie began, right?
Right, exactly.
So if he's sitting at the table with her, I would think he would know, but he was not sitting at the table with her.
Well, I can't believe the jealousy